Hi, I'm Jacqueline Rinksmeyer, Executive Director of the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining us today to watch our annual Candidates Forum. We do this event in partnership with Medina TV, and I'm here today with General Manager Jared Fry.
Thank you, Jacqueline. You will notice today, as Jacqueline and I do not have our mask on, and as I interview these candidates, I will not be wearing a mask, nor will the candidates. We are following all the Department of Health guidelines in regards to spatial distancing, and with being on air and doing a broadcast, masks are not required.
All candidates in local contested races were invited to participate in these interviews. This forum is designed to inform the voting public of their choices in the upcoming election.
The views and opinions stated by the candidates during the course of these interviews are not necessarily those of Medina TV and the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for exercising your right to vote in the upcoming election. Enjoy the Candidates Forum.
Joining us in studio now is Joe Salzgeber, the incumbent for the office of Medina County Recorder. Joe, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, why don't you take a moment and just introduce yourself to our voters.
I'm Joe Salzgeber, the Medina County Recorder. I was appointed to the position of recorder back in January of 2019 when the world was a lot different, a little over 18 months ago. I was appointed by the Central Committee of the Medina County Republican Party to complete the unexpired term of my predecessor as recorder, Colleen Swedick, following her election as county commissioner in the fall of 2018. I was appointed, I think, largely based on my experience. I'm an attorney, and I've been handling real estate matters for over 12 years with Foth & Foth, a law firm in Strongsville, as well as in Medina, preparing deeds for Kingdom Title. I also served as a Brunswick City Councilman from 2015 to 2019, and before that I served as an assistant Medina County prosecutor for 7 years, and primarily in juvenile and then criminal.
Okay. And I guess something too that this may not be an office a lot of people hear about. Why don't you just enlighten everyone kind of what exactly the county recorder does?
Well, that's the number one question I get is what does the county recorder even do? The county recorder's office is basically the land title office for Medina County. That's sort of the short explanation. What we do is we receive for filing and official recording all documents pertaining to land, primarily deeds, but also mortgages and home equity lines of credit, liens of other kind like tax liens, mechanics liens, easements and right-of-ways, which are rights of access through or across land. Sometimes those are driveways, sometimes those are utility easements. Also your homeowners association and condominium documents, among other documents. In addition to documents pertaining to land, we also officially record documents such as business partnerships. For corporations, that's handled in Columbus by the Secretary of State, but your county recorder handles business partnership documents, which are recorded with us. Living wills are recorded with us, and interestingly, U.S. veterans, DD 214, discharge paperwork is recorded with us. With regard to veterans, everything is free, and that remains confidential for something like 75 years.
Oh, wow. Now, where exactly are you guys located?
Our office is located in the County Administration Building, 144 North Broadway, about 1 block north of Medina's Public Square.
Okay. What would you say are probably the biggest obstacles that the recorder's office faces right now?
Well, technology is always a concern. We want to be as accurate as we can be, and especially over the course of the last 6 months, the COVID-19 crisis. Initially, we weren't sure what was going to happen, what the governor and the director of health was going to do at the state level. We reassured many of our customers, who are primarily title companies, real estate people, banks, mortgage companies, that we would in fact stay open and allow them access. In order to effectuate the transfer of land, Title companies have to do research and make sure that there's nothing that clouds the title. They need a clear title in order to transfer property from one person to another. And to protect lenders. Lenders rely on land as collateral for the loans that they give.
So I guess as you look to take office again and get reelected, what would be 3 of the top things you would like to do during your next term?
Well, I would like to improve the technology in the office. We have a number of computer programs that we utilize, and that keeping up with technology is always a big issue. We've replaced half the computers in the office over the last year. They get almost daily use. Another thing we would like to do is when we reopen the building, and I should mention this, that the commissioners closed the building to the public as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. Although the emergency expired in May, the building has remained closed because some departments you simply can't have the public in there and have adequate social distancing. So what we have done is we have put up permanent glass barriers. It looks almost like a bank teller or ticket taker's office now. In the front office, and in the back office we have portable plastic screens where we do the photos for the veterans' IDs. So, maintaining social distancing and allowing public access are major issues in addition to keeping the technology and computer programs up to date.
So how do you find that balance, especially in light of COVID and everything that's happened, that to try to stay customer friendly in regards to servicing constituents?
Well, we do let by appointment. We've been letting in the people that were declared essential by the governor's order and the health department's order back in March. We encourage people to wear masks while they're in the building. Some of the research is done via computer, but some things they just have to go back 50 years, so the title researchers have to go through the old books. And so they have to be granted access to the building. We do have the e-recording option for our larger customers. It's, if you're going to occasionally record documents, it may not be worth it, but if you're going to consistently record documents, we encourage customers to register with one of the e-recording companies so that they can just do that from the comfort of their home or office. And we also accept through the U.S. mail or through the commercial companies like UPS, documents that can be submitted via mail, but you can't do that with deeds because you have to go to multiple different departments.
Yeah. I guess that's a great point. With some of the older documents, how do you bridge that gap with modern technology where everyone wants to do everything online and have it done, but you still are tied to some of the older types of technology?
My predecessor, Colleen Swedick, implemented the project for scanning everything and having it available online. So you can get unofficial documents online by going to the Medina County Recorder's website. Those go back, we go back to 1979 for all documents, and then we have an ongoing project to scan basically archival documents, and we're pretty much back to 1970 on those.
So then it's possible for someone needing to conduct business, they could accomplish some of that with the social distancing online before they go through the final steps?
That's correct. Yeah. That's correct. For some matters, title companies need to go back a full 50 years. And so we're getting to the point where we have all the archival documents in there back to the 70s.
Yeah, okay, great. Very interesting. Like I said, as you mentioned before, not a thing a lot of people know a lot about, so it's interesting to hear a lot of these things. In terms of your expertise and skill sets and leadership qualities, what do you think differentiates you from your opponent?
I think part of what differentiates me from my opponent is having the legal background. I was basically a customer of the office, having prepared deeds, liens, and other documents that we record. So I've seen it from both the customer side and now from the administration side of running the office.
Now, in terms of what is probably the biggest driving force in terms of the public interacting with you? Is it more of the the mortgages and the homes, or is there other types of processes that people take advantage of mostly with your office?
Primarily, it's purchases of homes, sales of homes, and refinancing of mortgages. We have seen, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen a big jump in mortgage refinancing. We are up, for a county this size, we're up over 2,500 mortgages filings from last year, which is indicative of the fact we have low interest rates and people are refinancing either to get better rates or to do home remodeling, since travel's been very restricted since March.
Now, do you guys have any issues with the, in light of the COVID and some of the people, I know not necessarily the renters, but you also have the homeowners that might be renting that property in terms of any of the mortgage issues that arise with COVID? Does that deal with your office at all, or is it more just the paperwork involved with refinancing?
Primarily refinancing and then the sales of homes.
Okay.
Renters, if you're engaged in a land contract, almost like a rent-to-own situation, the land contracts would be filed and recorded with our office.
Okay.
The whole point of the recorder's office is that you have an official documents, deeds that stand up in court. If there's any question as to ownership, it's whose name is on the deed that controls.
Okay.
And the same thing with mortgage documents, how much you owe and interest rates, what the original amount was, what the term is. Everything is officially recorded, so there's really no question or dispute.
And as you mentioned before, you were appointed to the position, so that's why you were up on the ballot this November, because you were able to finish out that term and then have to run for the re-election under Ohio law.
That's correct. It's a 4-year term. We're up every presidential year, and I'm asking the people of Medina County respectfully for their votes this November.
Exactly, and that's Joe Salzgeber, the incumbent from Medina County Recorder, and you just started that, so I'll give you another opportunity, your chance to address the public. You can look directly at the camera there and let them know you want.
I'd like to thank you for watching. I am honored to be endorsed by the Medina County Board of Realtors, Buckeye Firearms Association, PAC, and also by my 2 immediate predecessors, the past county recorders, Colleen Swedick, who I've already mentioned, and also Nancy Abbott, who left the recorder's office to run and become the Medina Municipal Clerk of Courts.
Great. Perfect. Well, thank you very much. Again, this is Joe Salzgeber, the incumbent from Medina County Recorder. I usually always like to end by shaking your hand and wishing you the best of luck in November, but I guess I'll just have to kind of go the air fist bump. Yeah, exactly. And I wish you the best of luck this November.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you.